I'm Tim Barkley with Charleston Home and Design Magazine here at the Charleston Home and Design Show. Now we're talking with Rick Jackson with Carolina Machine Finishing. How you doing, Rick?
I'm doing very well, Tim. Thank you.
Good. What have you been talking to homeowners about this weekend?
Maintaining the exterior of their homes. Been a lot of interest in products. Everybody's looking for maintenance free, which we have to remind people there's no such thing on the planet Earth as maintenance free. There's a reduction in maintenance. So we've been talking to them about how to, put up their exterior siding, trim, and even some of the interior products and reduce the maintenance on it.
And how does Carolina Machine Finishing help homeowners to make their siding and the exterior trim low maintenance?
We run it through a machine in North Charleston when we are able to encapsulate it or to coat it on all six sides with an even thicker coating. So the thickness of the coating increases the color retention and the longevity of the coating. But then by applying it to all six sides, you minimize moisture infiltration. So consequently, you're going to prolong the longevity of the substrate and the coating 2 to 4 times by running it through our machine.
Gotcha. So instead of the siding being delivered to the job site and maybe sitting through a couple rainstorms and then being put up on the house and then painted on site, Carolina Machine Finishing will do what?
We will, and you've obviously been to a lot of job sites to be able to describe that. So we bring all the material shows up to us in a controlled environment. So we run it through the machine in a controlled environment, coat all six sides. So even when it gets to the job site, even if it gets wet or a little dirty on the job site, it still usually gets a final coat in the field, but it's protected. It doesn't get wet. It doesn't absorb water sitting on the ground or on the siding, waiting for the painter to get there 2, 3, 4 months down the road. Forest Products Laboratory says everything that's going on the exterior should be coated within the first 2 weeks of arrival on site, and that never happens. Our process, it's coated the day it shows up.
A lot of custom builders and architects swear up and down about the Carolina Machine Finishing process, don't they?
We've been blessed to have a great relationship with all the architects because they've seen the benefit now. We've been here doing this for 21 years, and we have literally zero failure. Tom was just telling me earlier, my partner here, we've just crossed into our 22,000th job. 22,000 jobs. Enough material. We painted enough material to cross the United States 4 times. And we have no callbacks, no problems. So architects love that, and builders love it.
That's what builders want to avoid. They don't like the homeowner calling and saying, "I'm having trouble with my siding. The paint is starting to flake or peel," and so it avoids the callbacks and so the builder, the architect, they're always looking for the better mousetrap out there that will solve that problem. And Carolina Machine Finishing, you folks have been coating siding and other wood products for how long?
21 years, Tim, and I heard you, here at the show, I heard you mention how to avoid mistakes. You had a seminar going on about that. I thought, oh, that's us. That's us. We avoid mistakes. So we've been doing it for 21 years. We've been blessed with a good longevity.
Well, we've mentioned some of the benefits to the builder and the architect as far as having to being able to avoid callbacks. But what about the homeowner? Does this make the process of painting their house more expensive?
No, it's actually a reduction in cost. We just talked to a few builders here today, and they were actually shocked to find out what the cost was. But again, as you described it, Tim, the best way to describe it, it's just a better mousetrap. Instead of pot and brush out in the field or a sprayer out in the field, it shows up at our job in our factory. We run the machine. It takes 2 hours to paint a house on all 6 sides with a thicker coating. So there actually is a reduction in cost. Does that actually translate all the way to the end user? Maybe not, but at the bare minimum, same cost, far superior product.
Well, I would. When we were building our house, we were able to tell the paint contractor, "You're only going to be putting on one coat of paint in the field." So they didn't charge us to prime it or put on the first coat of paint on the exterior siding. So we only had to pay that paint contractor for that one coat.
And then we just had the last builder that just came through here. We walked through it as a 3,000 square foot house, about $1,500 for us to put one coat on all 6 sides. He was shocked at the price. He said, "I'll either get that back from the painter because you only got to make one trip." or I'll be finding a new painter. So we're not here to put painters out of business. We need painters to do the final coat and to do maintenance coats. But if they would realize that we're actually friendly to their process because we do make it work last longer, there's no planned obsolescence in this product. It's planned longevity.
And it's proven too. So, and just to throw in a quick plug, as I mentioned, when we built our house 10 years ago, we used Carolina machine finishing, and our siding looks as good today as it did 10 years ago. So we won't have to repaint our siding for at least another 10 years or so. So very special thanks to Carolina Machine Finishing. And how can folks get more information about Carolina Machine Finishing?
They can find us online at cmfprefinish.com, or if you want to spell it all out, it's carolinamachinefinishing.com. Call our office, 843-760-0029, or look in Charleston Home and Design magazine and get that information right there.
All right, we've been talking to Rick Jackson with Carolina Machine Finishing at the Charleston Home and Design Show. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Tim.